It's cleaver time.
So I think they have really good like spellcasting supports that can go run around with their heroes. I think they can fake fights and do well.
I don't think they
If Liquid win this game, off the back of who is it going to be? Like, who's going to have to step up?
Zai.
Zai.
Last pick, last pick for their team. Same as last time.
All right, let's see if Zai can do it on his Bloodseeker this time around. As we head into the game, it's over to Sunsfan and Cinneren.
Thanks, Shiver. Game number 2 underway. Liquid versus Aster, and Cinder, I'm not gonna lie. This is gonna be a long intro. Well, I shouldn't say a long intro per se, but there's several heroes that I want to talk about in depth.
Okay.
We'll see if there's action, as obviously things have changed in Dotes. A lot of action early, a lot of rotations early. I mean, it's a fun patch so far for us. Although there have been a lot of stomps. We've already talked about that being kind of the, anytime these big patches come, that is one of the resulting factors for a short period.
It's kind of ironic considering that the moment the patch came out during Dream League, it generated really long games. So you would think, oh, the new patch dropped. Some teams are just going to pick some stuff that turns out to be broken. They're going to win really fast. But at that point, the games were long. And now that they've had more time to prepare, it seems like that has generated more one-sided games. So do with that what you will. I find that to be interesting. Usually it would be the other way around, right? Like the knee-jerk, oh, patch just dropped, some teams are going to own for a couple of days and then things will stabilize. It's kind of been the other way around.
Yeah, I see they still haven't fixed the way Ward's HP looks like.
Oh, we'll get
that immediately. Okay,
so who do you want to talk about?
All right, several heroes.
Okay.
So first and foremost, I'm going to talk about the stupidest one. Okay. Which is not Troll, actually. But when I say stupidest, I mean the idea of the Aghanim Scepter, which is Bloodseeker. Right?
Okay.
This was changed. The Blood Mist gives you like a barrier now. You can overheal essentially. Do you think that this is something good enough to be picked up in theory, or will we still not see it?
I think it's good enough in theory.
Okay.
But I don't know if you can pull it off as an off-lane Bloodseeker, unless your lane goes very well.
Okay. Right, fair enough.
And I don't think Zai is favored against Troll Disruptor here with IO. I think they're going to be fine, but I wouldn't imagine he's going to have like an outstanding game, but who knows? All right, that was your first one.
Thank you. We'll continue on here.
Yeah,
we'll stop talking.
Just quickly, Troll isn't the dumbest hero, like you said. Who's the dumbest hero now, Shannon?
It's Ogre.
It is Ogre. He has 0 int, and Troll has 1 per level.
Yep, that's right.
So he still has the lowest int gain, because technically you don't have int gain if you have 0.
That's true.
Then you don't gain anything.
You're always 0.
Yeah.
Now,
kind of a philosophical thing when you think about it.
Yeah, we could definitely...
Are you gaining 0 int?
I mean, you could say that. I don't see why not. Give him a little buff, gaining, just a textual thing.
Nice little banana dodge there. This is a very... Monkey King does very well against Concoction because it's super telegraphed ability that travels slowly, so it's very easy to mischief that, as Micke did there.
All right, let's talk about Troll since we're in this lane.
Okay.
So, if I'm not mistaken, the literal only change to Troll was his ult. You can use items now, which is...
I believe so, yeah.
That is a huge change, even though it's a very small footnote in the grand scheme of things in this patch. Being able to BKB, like before you had the BKB, then ult.
Yeah.
Right? Now you can hold it.
Use Satanic during your ult.
Yeah, it's
if you want to
pretty. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the design.
Or sorry, not Satanic. Well, also Satanic, but I meant Abyssal. Like, there's like different items that you might want to use.
So have you seen this here in the patch yet? Like,
I think this is the first game I see Troll.
Are you expecting it to be significantly better because of that change?
I don't think it's necessarily that relevant in this game. And I mean, again, let's see how long the game is, right? Because if it's a 20-minute game, what items do you even have when you ult, right?
That's true.
It's like there's maybe 1 item. I suppose there's some merit to being able to wand as your ult is ending. That's also kind of interesting, because then you don't get like one shot the moment your ulti ends. If there's any dot on you, you get a chance to do that on the way out. You get the luxury of using Satanic late in your ulti if you have that item, so you can take the damage first and then heal up during ult. That's some interesting interactions. This should be first blood here.
Boca looks to be super dead. Concoction's a little bit late, but wasn't going to help anyway.
All right, what was your third hero?
Well, it was actually Alchemist.
Oh, there you go.
You love your Alchemist games. I think that's one of the few quotes that people remember from.
Oh yeah, and
everything else is very
like the Mandela effect. I'm sure it will be quoted incorrectly forever. So that's fine.
Yeah, this is an Alchemist game, I'm pretty sure, is the quote.
That is correct.
So Do you think the changes, because again, for people that don't remember, I know they talked about in the panel a bit, Zai's going to get glimpsed, so a lot of damage applied to him. He's going to get slowed now. Monet continue to right-click, but the wand's keeping Zai alive. He's fine, and they're going to turn this around to the Disruptor instead. He pops his wand, though.
He's dead. He's
Siamese
fine.
Cat.
He's dead.
He's fine. Everyone is fine. Nothing actually happened in this lane.
Can you calm down? Nobody died.
Synderen's right again.
Yes.
This is an Alchemist game.
All right, so what do you want to know about Alk? So
Do the changes make him more of a core or more of a support? Because you get 2 in Greevil, basically the old level 2 Greevil's Greed, you get by default, which obviously means you'll. If you play it as a core, I assume if you snowball early, it's better than before. But if you don't snowball early, it's far worse. So does this help the support variation or the carry variation, or if you want to, like this game is the 3?
I would say it's a good question because it wasn't really played as support before. So if it's pickable as support now, then it just helped the support, right? Then it arguably helped it more than the core version. But the thing about the core version that you mentioned, where when you were falling behind and you were maxing Greevil's Greed and it gave you more of a comeback, I think if you were already in that state with Alk, you were losing the game, right? So I think it's probably still better to think of it. I just think all around the hero's just better, just buffed.
Insania! Dying to the last right click of a Crystal Maiden is a sad sight indeed. Nay takes a tumble.
Yep. Using the gate, connecting from bottom, he can head back to bot now, of course, if he wants.
Man, the gate, that alone is such a huge change.
It's the biggest change of.
It is.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of a bigger change we've had in Dota for like 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah,
Like
I mean you could.
talents.
I mean you could almost argue it's a bigger change than talents.
Oh, I think it is.
Right. So like, what's the last thing that was bigger than the gates? The gates are enormous. Oh, speaking of, here comes Roche. He's taking the gate. He's going top. He's really hungry and hurrying up. You completely missed him. He's back at home. It's unfortunately our observers are not bird watchers by
He might be in some trouble here because he's dead. Micke will live. Oh, never mind.
Great call, Shannon.
Thank you. That's what
Blew
happens
up
when
to the mine.
That's what happens when I'm casting with you. Your awful calls are just. Oh, Nisha.
Oh, is he fine, Shannon?
He's
Make a
dead.
prediction.
No, he's dead. He's dead.
All right, good call.
You infected me horribly.
No joke. Yeah, this is one of the hardest laning stages we've seen Nisha have for quite a while.
All right, can I make
an unfavorable matchup against a master of the hero that he's playing against? So
yeah, that's true.
definitely getting
26 and 10 right now in the mid lane. He's actually out of mana right now.
And the thing that's a bit scary about this is that I think Leshrac is one of those kinds of heroes that can really just take over the game in this patch as well. Eventually, if again auras like Pipe come out, that's a big mitigation against this guy, but who's gonna buy it on the Liquid side? Are you gonna go Pipe on Bloodseeker? Maybe you are. Like maybe he just buys auras. I wouldn't actually be opposed to it if his other cores are doing well enough. I don't think he needs to buy any damage. Just go full utility. He's rushing a Vanguard for now.
Yep.
Probably gonna see a Crimson Guard Bloodseeker. Very classic build.
From days of old.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't know if
Mid
anyone's
lane,
about
Astral
that.
Step is there for Nisha. Frostbite, but Sumail has the best rune for that situation.
That's the second best.
Bottom lane, Micke, he's in a bit of trouble. Has the Jinku stacks up, but can he get the Boundless Strike off? Looks like it's still on cooldown for
Say
quite a while.
Shannon, say he's fine. Oh.
He's dead.
He's not.
Baboka and company end up netting themselves yet another kill. In the mid lane now, Nisha
Some
getting
serious revenge. He has to
chased off
jump
by
away.
Sumail. Pulse Nova isn't going to be enough. No, Astral Step is there, forcing that out. Now continuing to pressure this mid lane. So we've seen a couple games of Void Spirit, and it hasn't looked particularly great. Of course, very small sample size. Do you think that enough was changed with him, that like being a universal hero and whatnot?
He also got nerfed today, right? That's a bit unfortunate. I think he lost 5 movement speed and a bit of less damage on Resonant Pulse.
Does that mean he was too good as Zai? He's going to get sticky bombed. Monet continuing to right click. Zai, Bloodseeker has quite a bit of armor. He's going to get glimpsed back into the split earth. Down he goes. XXS in the meantime, getting pressured in the bot lane. Jingu stacks are online.
Such a long concussion stun. That's concoction stun. Well, probably concussion as well, to be honest.
Boundless
XXS
strike.
will die here.
Yeah, he's done.
But yeah, this is the luxury you have as an Alk, right? Is that because you don't have to skill Greevil's Greed at all, you can have this unstable concoction at a high level very early on in the game. He still does end up dying there, though. Nice snag there from Nisha on the rune.
And what do you think of the new ability for Alchemist, which I don't even know the name of?
Something corrosive, right? Corrosive weaponry.
I mean, that's something that...
I mean, that's core only, right?
Yeah,
Supports aren't going to
it's
walk.
core only, and I assume even if you're core, you maybe... I don't know. Like, how often... Because I feel like the hero, they're trying to push it to the point that you actually want to get active.
Again, he just came back down. He doesn't block from Baboka, though.
Yeah, Baboka has made his way over.
Oh, box
Caution connects.
huge
Sticky
trouble
bomb is
here.
there as well. And a glimpse back, but Baboka, he might... Yeah, looks like he's going to be the trade. So it's a 1-for-1 support for support.
Just go away.
Siamese Cat getting pursued now by Micke, right on top of him. Gets off the slow. Insania trying to catch up for that frostbite. He gets it, and that leads to yet another kill, this time for Insania.
Nisha's coming as well. I want to...
XXS, Boundless Strike, Nisha with the Astral Step. Resonant Pulse is there as well. I see TPs are coming in. It's just Baboka with the Sticky Bomb. That's not going to help too much. In fact, it might even lead to yet another kill on Baboka, potentially. But the rest of it, Liquid are
You
a
can
bit
blast
too
off in
low.
3, but yeah, nothing to connect on, really. Nice moves from Liquid here. They're very... It's just fascinating to watch the game right now, right? It's just so dynamic, the way heroes are moving around the map. Was that effectively a 1-minute fight? Almost, it feels like. And it's not over yet. They're gonna go again.
Continuing Astral Step, they've refreshed their mana and HP pools. The death for Mr. Baboka. But that's kind of left Sumail just to his own devices in the mid lane. He's taking full advantage of this now. Approaching the 10-minute mark.
Radiant's middle tower.
Halfway to the Tormentor. Very exciting stuff.
Yeah. We'll get the power rune. He gets the best rune for the previous situation when he had the Ilu, arguably.
The shield rune.
The shield rune. So massive barrier here. Blocking 650 damage.
Wasting someone on creeps.
Yeah.
Not ideal. It lasts for so long.
It is really, really
Is it a
long.
minute and a half? Am I right on
Something
that?
like that. It's crazy.
absurd.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I thought that was
Oh,
the
blast
typo.
off. Nice reaction from
Okay.
Nisha there. Keep in mind, Techie's blast off is a stun now on level 1 even.
Yeah.
So that is not connected with the shard anymore. The shard now gives you the reactive taser Aghanim Scepter upgrade that had a 0% purchase and win rate across all brackets ever. But now you get it as a shard.
They didn't change it. Which that is the worst
It's kind of indicative of how unfavored that was as a pickup, right? That was just not...
I mean, is that
It's not good
something-
value.
Dire's top
Is it
tower
good
is
now?
under attack.
Consider it good?
I
I mean, you're getting it for free in most cases.
I feel
right?
like it has
Or-
its cases, right? The fact that you can put
Radiant's
taser on an
middle
ally
tower
and
is under attack.
you know the move speed is nice. I guess you can like run in specific heroes.
Oh,
and
Zai gets
use it
glimpsed
like
back. He
Nice
gets
timing
off
on
the
the
blood
stun.
right, but Sumail is there with the Pulse Nova.
Tanky though.
You have the Rupture applied, and Sumail's out of mana.
That Vanguard.
Wait it out for a bit as IO and company have come to play. Frostbite onto the techies for an opening.
Reload.
They want to continue on to Sumail, but reload back.
This is getting kind of dodgy for both teams.
Okay,
Really.
gets off the Whirling Axes. Wukong's command is placed as Boxy's relocate, about to bring Nisha back into the little baby area there.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So no actual kills
Dire's
coming from this, but
structures
space
are fortified.
for this tier 1 tower potentially. Liquid with a 2k lead.
Yeah.
And this is against an Alchemist.
That's
which-
fair.
Radiant's
And it's an
bottom
offlane
tower
out, so it's
is
not like the
under
full
attack.
value, of course, that his CS is way lower than it would be if he were probably a carry, at least in a good lane matchup. Yeah, Liquid pretty comfortable. Something worth keeping in mind about this offlane Alk, though, this hero has pretty decent strength, and obviously
Dire's
Get the
top
rune.
tower
It does
is
deny the
fortified.
rune, but it might cost him. Okay, he's fine. Almost pulled the Cinder in there.
Was that-
Learned not to make a call.
Oh. I thought you meant dying to the Void Spirit.
Thought he might.
Like, that's unnecessarily rude. Yeah, so Alchemist, obviously, the way he's played in this game is... How did people usually play offlane Alk? There was like the phase where we had people buy
Dire's
Ags for their
middle tower is
carry.
under attack.
Unfortunately, that didn't last too long.
Yeah, and then we had... Oh, hang on.
Sure.
Good
Radiant's
glimpse.
bottom
Can you
tower
TP out?
is
Yeah,
under
yeah,
I think it's
attack.
just fine. Then we had a phase where Alk was buying some auras. I think there was a bit of a Greaves thing. And now it's going to be the Crimson Rush. Very good against Monkey King like we saw in the last game. He has that now. I wouldn't mind seeing him going Crimson Greaves, honestly. I think it's completely fine in this game. Just want to tank up against physical damage for your team and have the extra healing.
Radiant are scanning.
So
Well, One thing we should mention about Monet, as he might be getting ganked here, still working on the Battle Fury, which pretty significant change to that is the fact that you need the, is it Cornucopia? What is that thing called?
Yeah.
Oh, it actually is called that. All right. Instead of the Perseverance, so the buildup is way slower. It feels a lot worse. Like having that early ring of health from before made such a big difference. He's going to get pushed out of his jungle. Relocate coming as well. He's already at half HP, has the battle chance available. Get frostbit, but TPs are coming in as Siamese Cat will die and TP gets canceled. Still delaying this eventual
Radiant's
Battle
bottom
Fury.
tower is under
But I
attack.
think that in and of itself is kind of the big nerf to a lot of the Battle Fury builders from the last patch. As we see some action, Sumail looking to get the kill on Insania, but he's the one getting low. Big blast off comes in, but not going to save the Lech. The 2-for-1 already. Foxy gets taken out.
Oh, he gets
Monet looking for his ult to go off. Does get it off, but he dies shortly after. Does a 3-for-2 as XXS. He pops that Crimson Guard, trying to run away, but Lion Company not enough damage to actually take him out.
And Pichu's level 5. We're 14 minutes in, your Disruptor doesn't have Static Storm. That's
I
rough.
wonder who got Wisdom.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another one there.
Wait,
14
is
minutes.
it? Oh, okay. I was just like, wait, did it not take it? We're already 14 now.
Trying to dodge, but Sun is there. Splitter at the fall. Already at half HP is this Monkey. Going to be a really big kill for Aster, but instead, Nisha absolutely blows up Sumail with the help of Insania, and now XXS looks to be dead as well.
My goodness.
Along with the tech, so 3-for-0. Liquid's starting to roll over. Aster.
Void Spirit is just so nasty. He just jumped on Nisha and immediately Dagoned him. Or, sorry, he jumped on Sumail.
Dire's middle tower is under
Almost killed
attack.
another kill.
0 like that.
Remnant applies. Kinetic Field not going to save him this time.
Dire's middle tower
Liquid
has
getting
fallen.
everything.
You're going to see the replay. Look at Sumail's health
Yeah,
here.
he's full HP right now.
So he's Vessel.
Vessel.
Oh, there was a Boundless too, to be fair. But
All Dagon. I mean, is this Dagon going to be upgraded immediately?
looks like he's just going to keep it level 1 and then go for the Ags. So the reason this feels so nice on Void Spirit, obviously he's, by nature of being a universal hero, he gets quite a bit of damage from Dagon since he gives 7 all stats. All right,
Off.
it's like a dead Insania here.
But in general, you're getting spell lifesteal just from having a level 1, right?
Yeah, so you get spell lifesteal and you get a lot more spell lifesteal on the Dagon itself when that is cast. It gives you extra, you know, you're tankier in the fight as long as you don't get 100 to 0, and you get the flat. Look at the damage on Void Spirit, right? He hits for 141 right now. Just treads Dagon in a pig hole.
I mean, I think the Dagon change is really nice because before, anytime we would almost never see it in general, but you get it for like illusions. But if you're actually buying it seriously on like a core, you upgrade it immediately, right? But now, you just get a casual one and just upgrade it over time, prioritizing other stuff in between. I think it's definitely a cool change. See more Dagons, of course. I don't think they changed the way it works with illusions, right?
It's just a one-shot.
And it also kills creeps.
Yes.
Non-ancient creeps. Now, the question is, I assume that it also works on catapults, right? I haven't seen it firsthand.
I think so.
But that's kind of a big deal.
And the thing that's interesting about that as well is that if you're in the middle of a fight and you can... It's kind of an edge case, but if you Dagon a high health creep, you heal a ton. Because you heal 75% of the damage that Dagon deals.
Wow.
So if you Dagon a big creep in the jungle that has like, say, 1200 health, it's an 800 heal on yourself instantly.
Damn. Okay, that sounds pretty
insane.
insane. Of course, like you said, it edge case. You're fighting next to a wave. I mean, what has the most? I mean, Catapult has a decent amount of HP. Maybe not. I don't
remember how many.
We'll find that eventually. But I was thinking for production that there's something they could add that really takes this to the next level. It's not going to be ready for this game, but if we could get a little side cam of Roche every time he moves to bottom and top.
Yes.
And the cool thing about it is you can make a pre-made video and just use it every time, and nobody's going to know the difference. If there's action, you just don't use it. You just don't use it for that time, right? I deserve a raise for that amazing idea. Everyone wants to see Roche move around and bash people.
And here's the tricky part about using that clip. If there's actually heroes in the area, then that clip doesn't work.
Invisibility. Make it more exciting and just make sure there's a hero that's rarely picked. So you're like, oh, nice spotting of Phoenix here.
Have a clip with a hero that's not even in the game being run down by
That's
Roche.
what makes it hilarious.
I like that. That's good.
It's good content either way. Informative, hilarious, and deceiving. I mean, Everyone, it's the trifecta.
Everything you love.
It's the clickbait of highlights.
Yes. Start gaslighting the audience. Yo, do you guys not remember this fight? It's never happened.
Oh, blast off with the rupture.
He might just get
Boundless struck into oblivion. 30 seconds on the deck. 5v4 for the time being, but the tier 2 tower likely to at least take a good amount of damage as Liquid have occupied this general area.
So I guess in the current game state, like things are going to be very slow for Aster. They're running a troll with Battle Fury, and this is just slow. It's a slow build-up, right? They need to try to slow the game down and buy themselves time. And based on how we've seen other games go, it feels kind of unappealing to buy this item in general, I want to say. Like, if most of the games we see right now are like these 20-minute beatdowns with like lots of fights and whatnot, your troll isn't really offering much in comparison to the Monkey King on the other side, or last game when you played, what was the carry that Aster had previous game? They had a Terrorblade, to be fair, which is kind of greedy, but he rushed Diffusal, right? And he was like part of the moves. Troll isn't really able to fight, so he needs time and space. His offlaner is an Alk who can't really make tons of moves, so the game is just very calm from Aster right now, and it's a matter of can you avoid just getting run over now? The map feels like it belongs to Liquid for quite a while, and they can take all the initiative.
You know, the good news though is that he does have an item other than Wand that is usable while ulting for the control, and that's the Battle Fury.
He can cut a tree.
You can cut a tree down during your ult, which Monkey King will be on in this very specific scenario.
And he can toggle his Ring of Aquila as well if he wants to not.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. Actually, that's kind of if you can use neutral, like what if you had the walrus, not walrus. What is that little force staff?
Ogre Seal Totem?
Ogre Walrus Ogre Seal Totem,
Yeah, you can use that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that. Of course, they could just make the ult so you can actually
What's a really cool neutral item you
want.
could use in troll ult? Let me see.
It's got to be a...
What's a good one?
Valuable time here.
Oh, Havoc Hammer. How about that?
You can go invis with...
oh yeah, Trickster Cloak and instantly break it. That sounds amazing. Sounds Fan TV. Martyr Plate.
Yeah, you
use the Martyr's Plate. You redirect your teammates' damage taken onto you while you're ulting.
That sounds like a troll item for sure.
That's definitely a troll build.
That's like Abaddon and basically no other hero.
You can toggle Vambrace.
Oh wow, that's important.
That's pretty cool. You can whip yourself for no reason. I guess you can move faster if you're chasing someone during troll ult.
So here's my other question that's
nice.
actually more relevant than anything
Nothing is more relevant than this.
So
you can dig with Pirate Hat.
Okay, that's pretty nice, but you can't actually pick up the rune. That's the problem. That's the important part, of course.
Book of the Dead.
Oh yeah.
You pop your ult, and you're obviously carrying Book of the Dead for your team as troll.
Yeah, I like that.
Or you can use your Seer Stone.
Yeah, let's just keep going down. Just look at every item.
Oh, that's a good replay. That definitely happened. That was a clip from this game. Believe it or not, that did happen. Can we get a highlight from another game?
Yeah, can we get the Roche cam by any chance? Is he still in the pit right now, or is he moving?
This is a good test for the observer. Is it day or night? Where do we look?
Takes a little getting used to.
Do you like that about Roche? Do you like the fact that he swaps sides every 5 minutes? Because your original idea was that there were 2 pits and it was random which side he was in, and then he would be in the other one when he respawned. Cool. Do you like this dynamic of him moving day and night?
I like it. I'll tell you something I don't like, even though it's early on and I could change my mind. I don't like that he's on he's that far away from his original spot.
Right.
I actually like the old spot being in the river. It's like more contested. Now it's like you get like 1 kill, you just go off into the corner of the map and there's,
right.
You're kind of left to your own device.
But at the same time, he's a lot tankier, so the other team gets time to respond.
Yeah. I mean, I think if it's in... This is a weird suggestion, I know. If it's going to stay in its current spot, I actually would not mind having full vision of Roche at all times for both teams. I think that would be very interesting.
Well, what do you think about the outposts being there for either side and being uncapturable?
Yeah, it's also
so like weird. At nighttime, the Dire has an inherent Roche advantage, and at daytime, the Radiant has an inherent Roche advantage because they can just TP next to it, whereas the other team has to TP to their outpost and then take a gate for 4 seconds.
So that's the thing. Like,
run,
a lot of the stuff is we're not used to it, so I'm not sure how to process this. It's an information overload, so I'm just giving my initial impression.
Yeah, you're not really capable of critical thought. You're just waiting for other people to figure it out for you, and you'll say that's true.
Speaking
I saw
of critical thought, Insania has a Pavis.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
That's really
that's the segue of trying to get away from our current conversation, which is about nothing. basically a Seinfeld episode.
And then
into
talking
the
about
game actually
something else
starts
that
now.
is- Oh, there's the
Caution.
Pavis.
Yeah, he used the Pavis. You can see the little red bar. That's the damage mitigation.
Sequence.
And looks like Micke and company have showed up. They want to take out Sumail. Wukong's command is there. He's inside of it, gets frostbit. It's off the Yules for the time being. Caution actually goes off in the meantime, and another fight on the other side of the map as Nisha.
Whoa, Nisha's...
He's in a lot of trouble. Rupture was applied to Monet, but he's still actually already used his ult, looks like.
Damn, nobody died.
Spirit Vessel applied to him now. He's going to Astral Step, gets off the Whirling Axes, but dies. And now Boxy reconnected with Nisha, and there's the Pavis being used. Nisha very tanky for the time being as Baboka onto the low ground. Caution connects on a big boundless strike from Micke, blows up Baboka. And now XXS and company attempting to get out of dodge, but the Spirit Vessel has done absolute wonders for Liquid. Already at half HP, but Zai continuing to apply the pressure, and Nisha gets off the stun into Sumail. Boxy connecting to Nisha now. Sumail is going to get bursted down in all likelihood. They have no more saves to work with. Aster 3 dead, and Liquid looking very, very good in this game number 2.
Which Aster or Radiant last game, right?
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
I can't even tell you what I ate for breakfast, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why I asked. Forget it. Good talk.
Yeah. Oh, the Wisdom Rune. Yeah, that's a juicy one.
Micke is so smart now.
Oh, and they're going to steal the Tormentor.
They're gonna...
Is it the Tormentor or the Tormentor? Oh! That was not as exciting. That sticky bomb.
Like 5 seconds off.
Yeah, that's okay. Oh, Insania gets the shard. Which, that's the one that lets him walk around during freezing field, right?
So, to answer your question, it's called a Tormentor.
Yeah.
But when he kills you, he teaches you a lesson, and then he's a Tormentor.
Yeah.
I like that. But it's only when he wins the fight, otherwise he's a Tormentor.
I've heard a lot of people calling him, or it. It's an it.
Yeah.
A Dementor.
Dementor, I think. Was that Jenkins that started that?
Probably.
If it was, then don't let it catch on. This guy has no good ideas.
It's true.
He probably thought Dementors were real as well.
He's hung out with you, so I can't blame him. Anyway, into the Roche pit, Liquid goes. He is on this side of the map right now because it's daytime.
Oh yeah, what do you think about if Phoenix used ult, that Roche was forced to run? And if Nightstalker used ult, he was forced to run from bottom to top.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, of course you like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
The enemy team is Roshing and you're Luna and you just
Yeah,
cast a
you
clips
just
and Roche just, he's like, oh, it's night, I'm gonna switch sides.
Yeah, you just
like
cast it in your fountain. That's perfect. That's
it's
a
kind of like
counterplay.
with, you know, with birds, and you just, if you have a bird in a cage and you put a cloth over it, they just sleep because they think it's night.
I did not know that.
That's kind of that's Roche.
Okay.
Like, oh, I guess it's night now, I have to run.
I think that's actually a cool counterplay, though. I'm not even... I know you're making a stupid suggestion. Somehow I like it.
Yeah, surprise.
If you're going to use Egg or
not
Nightstalker,
surprising.
if you're going to use Egg or like Eclipse in your fountain in order to do that, I think that's fine.
Yeah, but imagine the team fight as well. You're fighting at the enemy team is doing Roche. You go in and cast Eclipse, and Roche just runs through the entire team and bashes them.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
that,
Rupture in the mid lane, Baboka's just going to TP out. Still the counter to Bloodseeker, of course, after many years. We are 23 minutes in, and that is the bottom tier 1 tower finally taken out for Aster.
Oh yeah, did we actually establish? I don't know if you mentioned this. It's a bit hard to keep track of all the things.
You have to hold your horses, Cinderin. Is a lot of horses to be had as XXS is likely to die. We did actually put a static storm out to delay this, but it doesn't delay it long enough.
So I think he might get out here and disrupt. No, he's not.
Yeah, why don't you call it?
He's not fine.
It's not fine. You heard it here first.
It looked like he was going to be okay against Zai, but then there was also Monkey King, so you know, then you're not getting away. Anyway, the way Zai got his item build, right? So he built Vanguard to start in the lane, and then he disassembled it to buy Pipe, which now uses the Ring of Health, which I guess it did before as well, but you don't buy Hood anymore, but you still use the Ring of Health component.
Yep.
And then he turned the Vitality Booster into the Vessel. So that Vanguard disassembling seems to be a
huge
thing. It's really big for offlaners because there's even more options now. And we were talking about how Pipe against Leshrac is just amazing, and now that Zai has that, it feels like the Dire just can't really fight into them. There's so much of this Dire damage is just completely mitigated.
Yeah, the Vanguard, I mean, obviously you could do this before, but like the Vanguard disassemble for offlaners into Heart and Lotus, using both items, and now even more options, I think just adds to the dynamic nature of the game. So
yeah, I mean, you could technically do this exact disassemble in the last patch too, right? Vanguard into Pipe plus Vessel, but it's just Pipe wasn't nearly as relevant then, or impactful when you would get it. And the way Vanguard kind of bridges the gap between having maybe a somewhat rough laning stage and just having a great one, the fact that Vanguard is cheaper because the Ring of Health got cheaper, there's just a lot of small things that just really add up and make this really... It's such a feel-good to get Vanguard as any offlane hero basically right now. It's, all your options are still there. It doesn't feel like bad value. You even buy it on ranged heroes, right? It's like, okay, you ensure you're laning for 5 to 10 minutes, disassemble it and use the components for something meaningful for your team anyway.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Seems really strong. Monet gonna get spotted here by Micke.
yeah, I don't know if he actually wants to commit though.
Yes, BKB.
Ruptures there. Monet pops the BKB. Has yet to use his ultimate quite yet. Beating down the Monkey King, who goes invisible temporarily thanks to the Glimmer, but he's just going to get focused, and that is the Aegis down already. Foxy's getting chased, but he finds the path to the other side because Gandalf was ready for it, whatever the hell that means. You don't even get that reference as Monet. Looks like he might have robbed. Spirit Vessel is there. He actually lives temporarily. Gets off the Whirly Axes, then swiftly brought down by Micke. Gets the Wukong's command now. XXS pops that Crimson Guard, but this is way too much damage. Double kill from Micke, and Nisha has come. Oh, boundless strike onto both heroes. Samel pops that Bloodstone, but it's not going to be enough to stay alive. And this is going to be a full team wipe in favor of Liquid, and all they lost was the Aegis and Insania.
Just so clean.
And the Harpoon is online. Hell yeah.
And at this point, it feels like a formality at this. With how the games have been going so far today, it feels like a formality for Liquid. Just keep controlling, keep looking for fights. This fight was somewhat close. Obviously, the Aegis played a big role, but the Troll just has to use absolutely everything, and he's just laying into people, but they're just so tanky. And keep in mind, there's going to be a Halberd coming out now on Zai, and of course, he didn't go for the Crimson this game. Imagine Troll fighting into a Crimson there. You can effectively almost negate his entire ult. So
yep,
that is still an option that Liquid can explore in this game if they want to go there.
Well, how relevant is it? You're talking about getting it on the Bloodseeker?
Mm-hmm.
How relevant is that? Wait, is this an agility or is this a universal?
He's agi.
All right, still agi, good.
It still scales with your strength, though.
Yeah, but versus like, I mean, how big of a difference is it like if Centaur bought it versus Bloodseeker is my question. I have to do the math later. His Pavis was used, so Insania didn't die, but now that it's gone, he does.
Yeah. How big is the difference? I don't know. With Bloodseeker strength right now is like 87. That's pretty high.
Yeah, Bloodseeker does have good stats in general. That is true.
Decent.
Yeah, he does have good stats.
So like Centaurs would probably be like, I don't know, does Centaur have 20 more strength on the level 16? Maybe 25? Perhaps, so it's like an extra, what's that, 12 block?
That's it?
It's something. You say that's it, but...
That's it?
Yeah, I mean, what does Troll hit for right now? 125? plus 60, I guess, right? This has to be a display bug for me. Oh, I don't see the plus damage on my screen for some reason, so... You could block probably half his damage almost with a Crimson right now. But the Halberd obviously blocks all of it if you get that off, right?
You see Boxy using the ult to get the Wisdom Rune.
Yep.
So just continue. I mean, that's the other thing about these.
Has.
Oh, Emmy's cat making the trek, making the trek.
He's gonna die for this.
Yep, he's going for it. And will he get it? Oh, the Echo Saber slow. It's painful. Dies and loses the rune. Oh God, the poor baby boy.
I bet Nisha is really happy his hero is back. I say that as if he only plays one hero. He plays a lot, but this was one of his standout heroes, actually.
I mean, the hero's been
the Void Spirit.
completely inconsequential for
It's been a while.
quite a while.
Nisha is one of the best on this.
He's upgrading the Dagon now. Very nice.
I want to say when he made a name for himself in mid, the two heroes that actually come to mind for me are Void Spirit and Kunkka. More so than others. Yeah, compared to other players at the time. Like maybe I'm forgetting another one that was one of his trademarks, but these heroes just really remind me of him. And it's that mid hero that can scale but also plays good tempo. It's like he's always been very good at looking for fights.
Are scanning.
And all of the spirit heroes obviously do that very well.
Tower is under attack.
And the Kunkka back then when Kunkka was really strong, he was all over the map with X mark combos and making plays. What's his Dagon now? Dagon 3? Dagon 2. So he has it eyed up to Dagon 3, and then he has queued up E-Blade. So I wonder if he's gonna go for that, or if he is gonna finish the Dagon 5.
Yeah, I figured if you're going to start upgrading the rest that you just do it all at once, but that is not the case. Has he done the math? Probably.
He might have.
20K lead for Liquid. Have you seen a lot of comebacks in this patch from the brief amount of games that you've watched?
In Pro Dota?
Yeah.
Not so much.
Pubs is always a different story.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, coming back from a 20K lead minute 30 in general is just always going to be difficult. Regardless of patch, even in the infamous rubber band patch, if teams play well from ahead, this would still be a very meaningful.
Oh, Sumail! Yules and will die. After another Yules will die.
It's all over, Leshrac.
And there's the smoke from Liquid. 5v3 advantage.
Straight up top.
Yeah, looking to high ground, we can see that Roche will be spawning in the next minute. Aster will have a chance to try and contest. Another hero we didn't talk about too much was Techies and what was changed with him, other than being universal, but that Aghanim Scepter is something. I don't know if it's good, but it's something. Boundless Strike connect onto 2. Crimson Guard has already been used. Remember, it only lasts for 8 seconds as Monet is already ruptured. Gets harpooned back in. Pops the BKB. Gets the ult off as well. Trying to bash the old Monkey King. It's a 1v1 battle with the rest of Liquid looking on. And it looks like that's going to be enough.
What the hell?
Yeah, if Troll Warlord loses a fight like that, that might just be GG. I do believe.
I mean, he was in the Monkey King all right, and Micke has a billion armor, and he's way ahead on net worth.
Yeah. That was a rough one. Blood Right's there. Hits 2, Balance Strike to follow. Astral Step now. Trying to take out this tanky Alchemist, and it looks like they'll be able to not do that. Almost pulled the Cinder in there, of course. Boca jumps in, swiftly dies, and now Sumail. Okay, that's going to be it. GG. 25K lead at the end for Liquid. And the reason I asked you is because I'm not sure. First, I mean, obviously, the games are going to be stompy in a lot of these games because people don't know what the hell they're doing. I mean, we don't even know what the hell we're talking about.